networking of a really rather small group trying to look critically at the role of international aid. And we didn't have money, really. We only had money to do this NORAG news. And so we met in piggybacked situations, in little back rooms. Sometimes Patricio had a small bottle of scotch, which was quite a help. And we very, very often we looked simply at the agencies. We simply began to map the field, 1 to 6. NORAG news, 1985 to about 1989. And then, with the World Conference on Education for All in March 1990, we sort of changed gear and began to look in I think quite an unusual issue. We began to look at the history of how the World Conference, Simon, which I know you've written about this, how the World Conference came to be. Who created the idea of education for all? Out of whose head? What was the role of the South? What was the role of the agencies and so on? So I think that marked a change into what we've done ever since, right up to this issue here. I think that's a caravan. I think the EADI caravan had moved in, and thanks to Claude Auroy, and thanks particularly
the quality of that particular institution compared to anything in the world is a very accurate number, because it is an average, it is a statistical processing of tests in which students show what they learn at the end of their 4 years.
Grades of quality assurance. It's the results of the National Student Survey. It's a receipt of an award from the Times Higher Education. It's our graduate employability statistics. If you look at university marketing in the UK, they're all using as many of those statistics as they can, i.e. the ones that say the right thing. If you come to our university, you'll see boards around the whole place of how we're a global top 75 university. And 2 years ago, when we were the Times Higher Education University of the Year, the board said that. Of course, they had to come down at the end of that year, and we had to put it's publishing in journals for us. And it is in many countries. So for the British system, our challenge is to produce 4 world-class, whatever that is, 4 world-class papers in 5 years.
Some possibilities to move up into the educational ladder. See? I was also working, and these are some examples that make me question this relevance of these global frameworks. I was also working in a systematization process of an indigenous community coffee cooperative in Chiapas. And it is fantastic because on one side we have that
some ladies, because you know, it was such I'm not for
It's quite interesting. So we have, first of all, Adrian Bird from the Quality Council for Trades and Occupations of South Africa.
So is DFID much engaged with this whole elective financing?
Welcome to the panel on internationalization versus adaptation in skills and knowledge. As we were just saying, we don't have anything that's all international or all local because we're moving beyond binaries. And so I think in this panel we will hear different nuances of how to go about internationalizing and how to go about adapting to local nationals.
Really clinched for me by the deep personal respect which I have for Mchel Carton and his work. When the idea was first broached, I hesitated a great deal because I travel too much anyway. in the course of my work. And
a kind of technical mindset at the present time and imagine that this can work for everybody and in all contexts. So I'll stop there. There were people back there who obviously brought that criticism as well. It wasn't as if Brown was taken uncritically. People like Victor Murray, those of you who know your history, people like Norman Lees in Kenya.
Isolation, he always preached cross-fertilization. On his, the latest work he did was to translate Platon's Republic into Kiswahili. That was the same person. And let me use the remaining minutes to alert you to the person for thanks to whom, I must say, I earn my salary, Dag Hammarskjöld. He died, it's next year, 50 years ago. He was one
form of structuring informal apprenticeship. So just as a comment, thanks.
Can you go ahead and start your contribution while waiting for the microphone to arrive to you?
Thank you. I just want to go back to this theme of the post-colonial,